my friend Gregory. Oh, thank you. I think I'm the oldest comedian of the evening.
Yeah.
And I had a show recently, and before the show began, the comedians were sitting together, and they were discussing the effects of drug use on comedy. And they asked me my opinion, and I said Lipitor has no effect. I had another show, and it was a DJ, and the DJ asked me what song I wanted to hear while I walked on stage. And I said Uptown Funk, sung by Bruno Mars, because that's my jam. And he played Tiny Dancer by Elton John. Not exactly the same. I asked him why. He said, "You're old." I thought it was more appropriate. It's not nice. But it's tough for a guy to get older because we still look at women the same way we always have, but women look at us differently. We become distinguished. Yeah, I know how a girl in her 20s distinguishes me from other guys. She's distinguishing me from someone she'd have sex with. If you're looking, thank you. Sad but true. Sad but true. So if you're looking for a comedian who's going to curse tonight on stage, that's not me. I have a reputation as a clean comic because I don't curse on stage. I'm not against cursing, it's just that no one wants to hear their father curse. So because of that, I get asked to do some interesting shows. I recently performed at a Lutheran nursing home. Don't judge me, I got paid for that show. Another night I was asked to open for a gospel comic. I didn't know there was such a thing. And before the show began, the promoter asked all of us to gather together, close our eyes, hold hands, and pray for a good show. I thought that was an interesting thing to pray for, but that's fine, except another comic asked me, "Does that offend you as a Jew?" And I said, "No, but I've heard your act, and you should have been praying for better material." Tell you a little bit about myself. I got in an elevator recently. Thank you. And a guy gets in and starts talking about politics in an elevator. You can't do that. That's a breach of elevator etiquette. You see, I believe there are certain rules you have to follow before you take an elevator ride. If you have a conversation, it cannot last longer than the time it takes to travel 2 floors. It's just not fair to the other passengers. One day I got in on the first floor with 2 women. I pressed 3, they pressed 5. One of them turns to the other and says, "So how was your date?" And the other one said, "It was so romantic. We had dinner, and we went back to his place. And then and they turn to look at me as the door opens on my floor. But I'm not going anywhere. I want to know what happens." So one of them asked, "Isn't this your floor?" And I said, "Yes, but that was before I knew you had a date." "Please keep talking, I'll just stand in the corner. It won't be creepy at all." And as for that guy that started talking about politics, I got so mad, I pressed all the buttons and told him about my colonoscopy. See how he likes that? I love football because I love fantasy football. You play fantasy football? Yeah. And everybody's always looking for fantasy football advice. So let me give you some. Nobody cares about your fantasy football team. I know one guy who talked about it so much at home, his wife actually said it would be better if he was having an affair. Because he wouldn't talk about that. But to me, there's nothing like March Madness, when everyone's involved. Everyone fills out a bracket, even if they know nothing about college basketball. Like my father. We have a family pool, and one year there was a game between North Carolina State and Temple University. I didn't know who to pick, So I studied the rankings, the seedings, even the RPI, and I picked North Carolina State. My father picked Temple, because we're Jewish. You know who got it right. I appreciate that response, New York. I knew I was safe telling that. Because I told that joke once in Centerville, Virginia. And if you don't know where Centerville, Virginia is, there's no reason to. You find the NRA headquarters and keep going south for 10 miles. And I said, because we're Jewish. And the audience looked at me and yelled, get him! And I'll leave you with this. I've been married a long time. My wife and I just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary. Thank you for your pity applause. Although the young people are doing math, they're figuring out how much younger they are than I've been married. That's what matters. On the day of our anniversary, I went to her Facebook page and I wrote, happy anniversary to my wonderful wife. This counts as a card. She didn't mind. We've been married for so long, we just get each other whatever cards are on sale. You don't know how many times we celebrated Kwanzaa. I've been married for so long, I've forgotten what sex is like when you're single. There's a single guy at work, he said to me, I can't wait to go home, my girl's going to be there, we're going to have sex tonight. And I said, but it's Tuesday. You'll see. And my wife said, I need a new purse. And I said, I only have one wallet. I don't see why you need to have more than one purse. And she said, I don't see why we need to have sex more than once a week. I hadn't thought about it that way. So I bought her 7 purses. You guys are terrific. My name is Jeff Hudson.